Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen 720, and I'm back here today with another. Like I said, we're not gonna be here too long. If you guys will be so kind as you come in, hit the like button. We've got a few things we're gonna talk about today. You see the topics. Actually, you see the topics on the top. On the title of the video. I got a few more. We're gonna just go over those briefly. You know what I mean? I was gonna do a video, but it's too many to do a video on, man. So I'm putting everything in one thing. Mute myself in the back. Shout everybody said what's up. Anybody said what's up to me. I wasn't looking at the screen. I was posting the link. So shout out to you guys. Out to everyone. I'm in here with my boy Man. What's going on, good brother?
What up? What up? What up? What up, people?
You got some good stuff, some good rumors that we're gonna, just hit on today. You know what I mean? And Twitter, chat. What's up, everybody? Twitter on fire today, man. My Twitter line was blowing up, man. What the hell's going on? But anyway,
bro, I had 183 mentions, messages, whatever.
Yeah, my shit's up. I get 99, man. You know what I mean? What's the next Jenny Pony? Next Jenny Pony. You guys, I'm hit the like button my damn self. Listen, man, I got 52 y'all here right quick, man. You will have a great show today, man. If you believe so, like I said, hit the like button. We're gonna talk about a few things here today. We're gonna get to the end of this bottom of this fuck shit. Like, nah. What do you want to call first? You want to do Hellblade? You want to do?
Yeah, we can do Hellblade. Knock that out.
Hellblade. Let me bring this up here. You got the article in front of you, Mass?
Yes, sir.
All right, what we got here? Share. Present to everyone. All right, let me make this a little bigger. Zoom in a little bit. All right, so first of all, did you hear about these rumors today, or it came out yet today, right? Now, just let me say this right. Let me hide this right here. Let me say this right here, right? Now for about a week I've been discussing several things, and I'm just going to say this: it's not by chance, and I'm not trying to take saying I'm some big shot or anything like that, but it's not by chance that some of the questions we have for a while, as far as release date for State of Decay 2 and the where they're going direction with mature games, and that we're starting to get the answers within the day or the following day. It's not by chance. I always tell you guys again, you'd be surprised to watch your video. And again, it wasn't by chance that Phil Spencer answered my tweets while I was live on air. You know what I mean? Just want to say that right there, right? So anyway, Hellblade. Now, Porter Rock mentioned on, I believe it was the multiplayer show. You know what I mean? When we was talking about as far as mature games heading to the Xbox in the direction that Microsoft was going or that they're heading in. I brought up Heavy Rain, which is a fact. You know what I mean? Something, even I believe the studio went on record and said they did something they turned down because they didn't want to deal with a child being, it was a little too, actually went to Microsoft first, then they went to Sony. Microsoft didn't want to publish the game. They want nothing to do with it. All right. Now, Porter Rock said on the multiplayer that he heard from a reliable source, which I do believe the source that he's talking about. Okay. I'm not going to say anyone's name. I'm not going to throw them under the bus. That word had it that what's the guy from ID and Xbox, Chris something, the one that goes in
Charla.
Yeah, I believe so. Turned this down because it was a little too edgy for them at the time, or whatever the case may be. Now, this game was already rumored to come out on the Xbox back when they first announced it, but they said Microsoft at the time passed on it. Now, we see here that today that the Taiwanese game software rating board rated this game for the Xbox. Now, listen, I stand corrected, which I do hope it does come to the Xbox. Isn't the same board that rated Crash Bandicoot for the Xbox?
Nah, Crash Bandicoot was who was it? Hungarian, right? Yeah, it was Hungary. The Hungarian games board rated Crash, but it's not only Taiwan. It's supposedly Taiwan and Australia both rated Hellblade for Xbox One. But it was I think it was Hungary that did Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, well, and again, I hope it does come. Okay, now listen.
They said it was, but the Hellblade developers wouldn't. They was talking about exclusivity. They said we're only talking about PlayStation right now, meaning that it was already going to come, and it was already supposed to come to PC. So they was talking about console exclusivity and said we're only talking about PlayStation right now. So To me, that said they was already gonna do it. They just wasn't gonna talk about it right then because Sony was writing that check.
Okay. Now, I want to say this, and again, now the person that told Porter Rock this, like I said, I believe him. Again, I don't think he would just come out and just make some shit up like this, like grown ass man. But things change, and again, I hope this does come to the
Xbox.
console. Yeah, you know what I mean. I didn't really care for it, but when I looked up, I played them. It sounded really nice. Wasn't enough action in it for me. You know what I mean? But maybe I might revisit the game. So it is what it is. I hope this does come. But again, okay, Megan said, well, okay, Megan fucking me on Twitter or something. I ain't gonna give Z. I don't want credit for anything. I don't want credit for anything. But I'm just I don't think it's by chance that we're getting answers to some of the things that we had questions about for so long. Like, you know what I mean? Like my man Mighty Mo said, it may took Z to kick the tires or the car or the hoop dog for us to get some goddamn answers around here. Now, so kudos to that. You know what I mean? Have you played it, Matt Moss?
Yeah, I beat it on PC.
Oh, you did? Did you like it?
It was alright.
I mean,
I'm with you. It wasn't enough action for me.
Yeah,
like the sound design, cool, nice. But it wasn't enough action for me.
I don't know. So I mean, there goes that. Also too. Actually, I'm sorry. Are you looking at the chat? Because I can't see the chat. You looking at the chat? Mass?
Yeah. Okay. Omega said, "Stop lying. Sony didn't pay for Hellblade."
Well, look at the chat. Handle the chat. I'm gonna do the article.
what kind of idiot? So Sony didn't give. You don't think Sony gave them any money to help develop the game, the one that Sony was advertising?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Like, come on, bro.
Studio. It was a really small studio.
Yeah. Well, no, Ninja Theory is not small, but the people who were working on it wasn't all of Ninja Theory. There was like a small rotating theme within Ninja Theory.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do know them best for. Well, actually, I really like this game. It was Heavenly Sword, which I would love to see a sequel to. That was like the female version of God of War for real. Heavenly Sword was ill.
Yeah, Heavenly Sword was dope.
I beat that on the PS3. That was dope.
Like that's when they first announced Hellblade, I thought it was going to be like a spiritual successor, but it went down a different path.
Mm-hmm.
Like I figured they was like they're stepping away and decided to do Hellblade instead of Heavenly Sword. Right. They was just doing a play on words.
Yeah, you're right. Because it kind of looks like the female protagonist.
Right. Like it looks like the one with the crossbow. I forget her name. From Heavenly Sword. Remember the one where you was using the crossbow, her little sidekick. That's what it looks like. So I figured it was like an homage, and they was just gonna do that.
Yeah, but I guess, like I said, it wasn't. It had something totally different. Bitch was about battered in a bag of pedo, man. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. Maybe I might go back and check it out. But anyway, I hope it does come to the Xbox. Also, too. Now, like I said, what started me on this?
Real quick. Mm-hmm. Omega said Ninja Theory has a great relationship with Sony. Nobody does this for free, bro. I don't know where y'all keep getting that people are out here doing charity. Like, I don't give a damn if they have a great relationship with anybody. They could have put it on PC for 100% free, and put it on GOG and been good. They put it on PlayStation because PlayStation paid them to do so. Y'all tripping if y'all think any of these companies out here getting charity work. Like people have to pay their employees. They have to pay for server time. They have to pay for the equipment that they use to develop these games. They ain't out here doing this shit for free. Y'all tripping, bro. Mm-hmm. that goes for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Ain't nobody out here doing this for free.
Yeah, it's a business.
Yeah, I agree. It's on PS. It's a whole bunch of games on PC and on PlayStation. Again, not free.
What's up, next gen? What's up, Def? What's up, Def Jam? Man, again, shout out to you. Oh, I know what time. I don't know what time. Crap.
Sony doesn't pay for multiplats. Then what about No Man's Sky? What about No Man's Sky? Just asking a quick question, bro.
Yeah.
Right. In that stupid argument. Next. Where we at?
Where we at? Listen, man. You guys do me a favor, man. I got 131 of you guys in here right on the spur. Do me a favor. Be so kind again to hit the like button. It's very, very important for me, man. More than you know. It costs you nothing. He's my man here flips Dirt Griggity. Well, yeah, I just seen you left a message. I wasn't looking at Dirt Griggity. What the hell you? I'm trying to find your message. Hold up, 1 second, Dirt. I got you.
That dude said Sony doesn't play for
What?
multiplayer. What about Call of Duty?
Uh,
I'm just asking these are the questions, bro.
Oh yeah.
They don't pay for marketing deals. They don't pay for any of these things they do, right? Come on, bro. Like, come on. Sit your ass down in the corner. You was good till you said something stupid. You was good till you said something stupid.
Yeah, okay. You know what I mean?
But anyway, like Hellblade, the game was alright. Like I said, the game was alright. The sound design was good. There wasn't enough action. I thought it was going to be more Heavenly Sword. It wasn't. It was more walk, and then you had little action sequences built in, and then like the puzzles themselves, the first few were interesting, and then the rest of them,
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't really care for that. I beat I fought 4 or 5 black little ghosts and whatever the spirits. You know, like, this ain't nothing. Got the max. Do some more walking, climbing. Yeah. Okay. PS5 dev kits. Wrong damn thing. Let me get PS5 dev kit. Actually, you know what I mean? Hold on, let me go right here. Not this one. Let me get in here. Let me make another one. Nope. There we go. Well, no. Where you go here? Where we at? Skip it. PS5 backwards compatibility. Maybe in the future as a Sony updates its patent. What do you think about this? Good news, bad news, great. They ain't trying to milk the customer.
I said whatever. What was that show? Monday that PS5 will be able to play PS4 games. Okay. If they don't, they literally 100% are milking this as much as possible because it's all going to be the same architecture. Like, there's no reason they shouldn't play PS4 games. No reason. You're not going from different architectures, not using different chips, whatever. It'll all be stronger hardware, same architecture. This is a no-brainer to me. If they don't do it, then trust me when I tell you, bruh, it's not happening.
It says here, we may be seeing a PS5 backwards compatibility when the next generation of Sony consoles is released. According to an updated patent by Sony, the patent, which was updated on February 13th, talks about backwards compatibility testing of software, which is nearly as close as well as getting an outright confirmation. Backwards compatibility is used to be something that PlayStation console could do with the PlayStation 3. I remember you can play PS2 and PS1 on the old fat gig, the old fat joints, the PS3, the 80 gig model, which I never really took advantage of. I'm gonna be honest with you. I always said I bought a new console. I ain't really into playing old games, but neither here or there. But being backwards compatible when it came to PlayStation 2 games. However, the PS4, much like the Xbox when they first could not play games via backwards compatibility. Now, what do you mean? I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? It's a patent? Like something they have to patent? When you think? Oh, I didn't think what that said.
It's probably something proprietary in their software chain. That's something that they don't want copied. You know, I mean, like Xbox One, the way they do the Xbox 360 is through emulation, right? Yeah. So they have that chain of how they wrote that code patented so that nobody can copy it. But I'm assuming that PS5 is going to do the same thing, even though it should natively play a lot of these games, just worse. And then over time, what will happen is the games or the PS5 game or software maybe, will have hiccups and stuff with certain PS4, like early PS4 games.
Yeah.
But it should move forward. It should be hard for them to go.
You don't think they're moving away, or hope they don't move away from x86.
Right. They're not moving. Like I know for a fact they're not. Just because right now it's so much easier for developers to make games, which means that overhead goes down, which means that profitability goes up. So them developing singular games for multiple platforms is easier when all the architecture is the same. So as the PS5 will be a stronger PS4, more streamlined, and they'll probably focus more on frame rate.
Yeah.
Just because that's the hitch they got to grab now. There'll be a 4K 60 quote unquote box, because that'll be the whatever medium they have to hit. But
well, let me ask you a question then. So, do you think that when the PS5 comes out or the Xbox, whatever, to Xbox Infinity, whatever, that we're gonna get? You think 60 frames is gonna be the norm, or are you still gonna be done with 30-frame games and just native 4K?
I think 60 frames will be the target, but I think it'll get hit more. I think that'll be the baseline, and then I hope this will over the generation they'll do the smart thing, and focus on 1440 ultra 60 plus FPS. Whatever.
Hey, baby.
Oh, this dude. Post hopped in. Post hopped in. Immediately got on the phone. But yeah, my assumption is that they'll start 60 FPS and hopefully it'll be the norm moving forward. But I'm hoping that since the Xbox is already on the 1440p train, that they'll focus more on high graphical settings at 1440p and 60 FPS. So whatever the next Xbox and PlayStation is, they'll put in a more capable CPU that is capable of running those things.
Okay, my apologies.
No problem. So you don't think I don't think they're gonna move away from the APIs, the whole GPU, CPU on the chip. You think they're gonna move away from that, or?
Nah, it'll still be APU, but it'll just be a stronger onboard chip.
All right. Well, again, while we talking about dev kits, PS5 and the Xbox, right now the Pro was 4.2 T flops. The Xbox, I think it's 6.1 or just say 6, whatever. Okay. What do you think the next next console, at least 10 T flops?
Somewhere around there.
I think 7 or 8.
I think it'll be around 10. The only reason is because
the Pro, Scorpio, whatever. 6.
Not even that. The ones that the high grade ones that are out now are around there. Even the mid grade ones are higher. So you get you mid tier, not mid grade, but mid tier, and they'll get them in mass production. They'll probably still go AMD. I don't know. It'll all depend on how much direct change they do. Whatever the next Xbox is, it'll be custom. The next PS4 will do or the next PlayStation, not PS4. The next PlayStation will do exactly what PlayStation 4 did, and they'll take the already produced parts and make the best box they can, because that gives them the quickest inroad to making money off of the hardware and the software, which seems to be their focus now because of all their business acumen shifting towards PlayStation. Sony as a whole, they have chips and insurance and stuff like that, but Sony as a whole shifting towards PlayStation being their bread and butter.
Post, what's going on, good brother? Here.
What's good, King? How y'all feeling, man?
Everything. You slid right in. You slid right in.
Yeah.
While we're talking about the PlayStation 5, well-known industry insider says his PlayStation 5 dev kits. Let me share my screen. Oh shit, the wrong one. Let me share my screen. Let me go here. Share my screen again. Share my screen. My man, shout out to P-Rock. Mr. Share my screen. Here we go, make this smaller. It says here, PlayStation 5 dev kits rumored to be in the hands of third-party developers. The well-known industry insider Marcus Sellers has once again leaked an interesting information about the PlayStation fans. For the PlayStation fans. For those who had their ears out for the PlayStation 5, Marcus Sellers has recently tweeted something that you may find interesting. According to him, PlayStation 5 dev kits are out to third-party developers. Although Sellers has not provided any evidence or any types of sources for such news, how you obtain it remains a mystery. So far now, we may take this claim as a rumor, nothing more. He said he has a good reason. Name some of his leaks here that he put out. We're in 2018. Are you surprised by this? That dev kits are out?
No. No, you have to, in regards to dev kits, you have to give developers to an amount of time to get access to the hardware, to go over it, to see what capabilities it has, as well as being able to hit certain launch dates within the next year or two. You want to have probably a massive amount of software ready for the platform. So in order for them to have not only their first party games ready, but third party as well, you will have to start putting that out now, since it takes about at least 3 to 4 years for games to be developed as anyway. So
2018. So what do we think? 2020, 2019 PS5 or?
I still maintain 2020. It'll be early.
I could agree with 2020. I know y'all was talking about it 60 frames per second games.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it'll be a lot more consistent than it has been this generation. But you got to understand, when the more powers developers get, the more they want to push the hardware. Right. The more they want to do graphic.
That's why I said I hope they focus on 1440. 60. Yeah. Because if they try to go 4K 60, that's why I said it'll be the
developers want to go
be hit.
They like you, see that graphics horse. You know what I'm saying? You give them power, they be wanting to do all types of stuff.
Right. They want to add more stuff to the world. They want to add more things to do.
Yep.
And that's why
that affects the frame rate. So
yo, listen, I don't care about a single player game being in 30 frames. I'm keeping all the way above. That's something multiplayer shooter online, give me 60 all day. You know what I mean? But as far as a single player, one player, what do you call it? Assassin's Creed. I understand 60 may be better. But I'm not really fussing. I mean,
I do see anywhere from probably 8 to 10 teraflops. Me personally, I don't think it's going to be too far from Scorpio. That's why I think Microsoft at 6 teraflop was good, because by time 2020 come around, hopefully the Scorpio start taking off as the base. Hopefully Microsoft allow developers to start really tapping into it.
Oh, okay. So you think maybe the Scorpio would be the base entry level, and the next Xbox will be the higher up.
Because
that'll fit though Microsoft's no generation thing.
Yeah,
because they'll just keep saying it's an iteration of the Xbox One. It may be the Xbox One Infinity or whatever, like you were saying. I think they're just gonna keep iterating on it like they do, like they're gonna start, or like they have started doing Windows 10. Windows 10 is the last Windows type thing.
It's a lot of power in that X, and developers haven't been able to utilize it based on the S. Now, I don't think it's going to be a huge disparity between the X and what Sony put out, because I think Sony next system more than likely is going to have 12 gigabytes of GDR5 as well, and probably have. I think it's a newer version of GDR5 2 out as well. I think it's that. Yep. So I think it's going to have 12 gigs. I don't know. I don't see them doing 16, maybe. But I think it's going to have this, 12 gigs of the same amount of memory that the X has. And so I don't think the disparity between them is going to be huge. I think the X Scorpio is going to be able to hold its own, at least into the next iteration of the Xbox.
Okay. I think, crazy as it sounds, I think the mining craze is going to hurt the speed at which new consoles come out. Just because
that is ridiculous.
It's like, because it's inflated the prices of everything so much that even they're gonna, buy everything at wholesale cost, but they have to charge more on the AMD and Nvidia side. They have to charge more on their side, just selling them to the people, the people that they are distributing them. So I think that's what's gonna slow it. Like I think E3 2019 or sometime in 2019, Sony will have a little press conference and announce the PS5 coming out, and then it'll come out in 2020. I don't think they'll pop it out in 2019 because they don't have to. Like at this point in time, they're so far ahead, and their trends are going down, but it's going down by about the expected margin. So I don't think they're in any hurry. I think they're gonna wait till 2019, and then in 2020 they'll put it out.
Wait, hold on 1 second. I want to give a huge shout out to my man, the finest. If I'm not mistaken, he's also a Patreon supporter, but he just sponsored my channel. You can sponsor the channel. Shout out to my man. I forgot I even enabled this thing here. Shout out to my man, the finest, man, for really getting
shout out to the finest, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Cool, man. I do agree with Bass with them using the same chipset as far as x86 architecture. They have to if they want to, because I know at some point the Pro is going to become the base, and then the PS5 is going to become, man. Because I do see the PS4 Pro and the PS4 still being sold by the time the PS5 drop, and I think at some point they're going to drop the OG PS4 and just have the Pro, and then somewhere years down the line drop the Pro. And they both going to be doing the same thing, but in order for them to maintain consistency with that back catalog, I don't think you want to do what you did going from the PS2 to the PS3 with different.
You know, it's crazy though. Now that you said that, and I'm with you 100% that they're going to do that. They'll drop the Slim, make the PS4 Pro Slim, whatever, and then the PS4 Pro become the base console whenever the PS5 is about to drop.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, and I'm gonna say this right now, what's it? March 7th, 2018, 6:52 p.m. Central Time. I'm saying this right now. When that happens, and when Microsoft announced the next Xbox and they stop selling the S, people gonna flip out on Microsoft talking about they lied. They told us they wasn't gonna move on. They told us it wasn't gonna be no Xbox One X games only. I guarantee that bullshit. But then the PS4 Pro, they only gonna be making games for the Pro, and people go say, "Shit, I'm telling you this right now. This is right now. I want these tapes, Morgana, record this. P-Rock, record this. I'm saying it right now. Bet you it happened."
Shout out to my man, the Predator. What's up, baby? Predator H2O. Be giving Predator, you gotta start sliding me some info. Maybe giving crap all exclusives, baby. Hit me up. Also too, like I said, it's not really rumored, but CD Projekt, you know, those guys, they do The Witcher and stuff. They are notorious slow with their games. Cyberpunk 77 looks like it's going to be a cross-generation title, and which also gets me talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 rumors. Let me ask you guys a question. You know, at the start of this generation here, we dealt with a lot of cross-gen development, and like I said, I believe that it kind of hurt the earlier games, because normally when a new generation started, when you went from the NES to the Super NES, that was it for the NES. Or when you went from the Super NES to the Nintendo 64, that was it for the Super NES. And I mean, this generation, probably to like 2.5 years in, 3 years in, we were still getting, well, you're still going to get the sports titles, and that I'm not really talking about. But, you know, if you name some of the, like Titanfall, which was huge, came on a 360, Forza Horizon 2, 360, Tomb Raider, beautiful game. That was the 360. You know what I mean? Do you think that when the next generation starts, are we still going to be dealing with a lot of cross?
100%, unequivocally, straight up and down, yes. And the reason is, like, the reason Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64, the reason those things happen, because they kept changing mediums. Like, the cartridge was different. Like, right, the cartridge was different. Then they went to the little mini disc thing. Like, they just kept changing mediums. Once we got into the, you know, DVD, Blu-ray medium, once we got into that field, it wasn't as big a problem. And the reason you're gonna continue to see cross-platform games, especially now, cross-gen games, quote unquote, is because it's all the same architecture. So they're making one game, downscaling it to whatever is the lowest common denominator. So at this point in time, that's 100% going to happen going forward, and it's going to be easier for them to do and sell it on the, you know, 130, 140 million, whatever the combination of Xbox Ones and PS4s are in a while. When the new ones come out, it's going to be easy for them to make that game cross generation and sell it to that 130, 140 million people, whatever it is. So they're 100% going to do that. Without a doubt. And GTA 6 will do just like GTA 5 did. It'll come out on the old generation first, and then it'll be like a year, and they'll put it out on the new generation and PC. Even though it's the same shit.
Well, I'm trying to reload the page here. Well, these are the rumors for GTA 6. Now I know what do you call it? Red Dead is coming out this year. And people still playing GTA 5 right now. But damn, skipping the whole generation, that's crazy. Maybe it might come out at the end of this generation, you know what I mean? And then when they did with the last one, GTA 5, GTA 5.
That's what I said. It'll be like 2020. That's why I don't think it's coming out to 2020. And 2020 is also when I think PlayStation 5 is going to come out, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. It says, well, anyway, it says rumor GTA 6 is codenamed Project Americas, going back to Miami. It has been 5 years since Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, but it seems like yesterday, due to how well Rockstar has managed to keep this game relevant to now. However, the need for Grand Theft Auto 6 exists, and fans want another installment of the series soon. So again, if this does come out in 2020, which I think probably we get new consoles, you know what I mean, maybe hear about them at next E3 and, you know, show something, or if Microsoft or something maybe show something on stage, and then we get the hardware, like I said, in 2020.
Hold on. Gotta pay bills. Okay. Shout out to Von Lamont, said, "What's up, panel? Didn't the Xbox say Crash was coming to Xbox? I don't believe Hellblade really coming to Xbox."
Oh yeah, we talked about it a little earlier. I said the same thing. Now again, this will revisit this. P-Rock said this on the multiplayer, and it was told to him by someone that, you know, I don't think that person has no reason to lie. I'm not going to say their name publicly because he said not to say anything. But again, I hope it does come. But you're right, and I also mentioned that about, you know, Crash Bandicoot was rated by somebody's board.
Hellblade is coming.
We have yet.
Hellblade is coming. When Hellblade was announced, it was announced as a first to console for PS4. So that exclusive is probably time period is probably up at this point, and that's why you see now the Xbox information. It's just that the game was first to launch on the PS4 first, and then all other platforms afterwards. I don't know if it's ever going to hit the Switch, but it's definitely going to hit the Xbox.
I feel like that's one of them inside Xbox announcements.
What?
Inside Xbox, they said they're gonna announce new games and all this other stuff, inside information.
I feel like this though? What if it's
coming? That's gonna be one of them inside Xbox.
Here's the thing. How about this? How about if it's hit exclusively to Game Pass?
I doubt that. I doubt it, but it's possible. I doubt it though. The reason I doubt it is because they want to make some money off it. So unless Xbox gave them a nice fat check that's
about
the size of about the size of what they made on PlayStation.
Yeah, well, it sold 250,000 copies on the PlayStation.
250. Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's 250K.
So you know what I mean, but no,
that's it.
Yep, about 250. Yeah. Remember, that's when P-Rock had
as much as they champion. Well, you can say it's exclusive at. Well, it's not exclusive. It's on the PC as well.
Yeah, it's on the PC.
But I'm talking about in the console space. It's exclusive to the PS4 because there's no other platform but the PS4. And the way they champion exclusives, you would have thought that game would have did $1 million the way they was championing that joint.
Hey, my man said, Mighty Mo said 2 cases out, you're a fraud. Homie Phil don't respond to you. I know, right? They got me here looking spooky in these gaming streets.
Because, like, let's say they sold 250K, probably a few more. So it was $30 a pop, right? So $30 a pop, so they made what, 7 mil, some change?
Yeah.
So 7.5 mil or whatever. And 30% of that went to PlayStation off rip for licensing fee just to put it on the marketplace.
Yeah.
And probably another 10 for regional fees. So they made what, 4 million? So if Microsoft gave them a check for 4 million, they could put it on Game Pass.
Yeah. Look at the other thing. No one want that garbage. Look, we want any game we could get right now. I don't know what you talking about. I don't know. I don't know. With fanboys, man. Look.
My man
Zink be on with some time, man.
He be swacking,
bro. Zink die hard. Zink don't give a damn what nobody say about nothing. Xbox is the best box. He don't give a damn. He don't care if you're talking bad. As soon as you say something, you can say Xbox is the best thing that ever happened to the world. It cured cancer, and then you be like, but. And Zinc will jump down your damn throat. if you add a butt, that dude was on
yo,
your
Zinc was like,
bro.
you was all good until you said butt, bro.
Right.
Yeah, man. But you said you was all good. You said, bro.
As soon as you said butt, he's over.
So most of the ain't sent no invite. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, that's why I said it's important. When like I don't know why you two got me in this little black box, man. I'll talk about it at a later date. But yeah, like somebody like people saying they don't get notifications when I go live. If you don't, like, just unsubscribe and subscribe again and hit the bell button, man.
Shout out to Von Lamont. He said, I don't think GTA 6 will be coming to like 2024, and Xbox taking L's with these fake ass Detroit Downgate videos, which was debunked.
Did they get a downgrade?
I don't really know.
I don't recall us even talking about Detroit being like I don't even think we did a podcast. Z, have you did a video on Detroit?
They talked about it on BGST. I didn't see the footage yet. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
Here's the thing about development. Anybody who says that a game looks exactly the same as it did the first time it was shown is a dumbass. 100%. Straight up and down, you're a dumbass. Because games go through development cycles. As the game gets closer to the end of it, they steer things in the direction they want. So if they need to take a little power from this side of the tessellation to put it over here and the particle effects, they do that. So everything will look a little different from when it first show you and make it look as glossy and beautiful as possible to when it's out.
No, man, you're too easy on them. You're too easy on them. Digital Foundry just exposed Sony. Whole E3, whole PS3 conference. They just exposed them. They was fake. Everything was fake. All the CGI renders. Hey, they exposed. You don't see no Sony talking about that video. Yo, they say some of them CGI renders can't even be rendered on today's hardware. So you know they. Hey, that's the only Digital Foundry video they linking up.
Listen to. I guess we can talk about this now. Well, shout out to my man D12 too in the chat. I know Hip Hop Gamer covered it. Somebody else covered it too. That rumor has it that Microsoft bought it. Studio MDR that made Cuphead.
Wouldn't surprise me. It was only there's only two people, and they cousins. Like, it was literally a family. It was like two brothers. Their sister was like the treasurer. Like, real talk. It
was a family business. But
right, it was a family business.
That
wouldn't surprise me at all. Microsoft basically made sure that they were fed the entire time that they was making Cuphead. I don't see why MDR would not do that.
What'd they do?
Well, rumor has it that
they bought the studio,
bought the IP, bought the studio, and also that Cuphead becoming a Disney brand.
Yeah, I mean, they came out and said that game will never go nowhere other than Microsoft. And Microsoft really got behind them.
Right. The man literally said we was about to lose our house. Microsoft made sure we didn't lose our house. I don't give a damn. That's what he said. Those are that man's words. Yeah,
I mean, that's common sense on Microsoft end, because those type of games are needed. You know, Cuphead was a tough, and I still have to beat it, but it's a great game.
Yeah, they gonna the Oris and Cupheads. Microsoft gonna swallow those up because they quick. Yeah. If Below ever come out anytime this decade generation, they'll probably swallow that up too.
Now I will say this, Z, I can see a Cuphead and those type of experiences launching in Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? Exclusive or being built directly for Game Pass. I can see some experiences like that. So that'd be dope. I think they need to lock up the Ori and the Blind Forest developer as well. And if they can, Playground too, you know?
But I mean, all that's well and good though, but I want them to some big studios that's going to make some. And I'm not knocking those. That's like the dessert. You know what I'm talking. I want the big over the top. You know what I mean?
I mean, big things can come from. Look, you'd be surprised what what resources could do. Now, this studio was very, very small. With the resources they got behind them now that they've purchased, if so, they can build probably 200, 400 man team, and just go crazy and put out experience. You know what I'm saying? They could, you know, we never know. You know, I know you want something huge. You want EA or Obsidian and things like that, but I don't know. That's probably in the pipeline too. I know they're gonna have to do something because it is quiet out here in these Xbox streets.
Well, listen, like I said, man, I'll raise the conversation. I mean, the topic, the questions, and we're getting answers. Now, some people say, "Well, they ain't got nothing to do with me." I mean, okay, if you say so, you know what I mean. Like, you know, Phil didn't just choose to answer that tweet while I was live on air. Like, I sent that tweet about 9 hours ago. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Beforehand. You know what I mean? And the name of the show was, if I'm not mistaken, let me get here. I got a dog shit memory. The name of the show was let me get the name of the show. I think
Spencer stays quiet about.
Yeah, remains quiet on the question of mature exclusives coming to the Xbox One. So, like I said, you know, that was the name of the show that I did, and that was the show was basically about. And then he answered, you know, it was all there on air. And then we got a release date again for State of Decay 2, which looks good though. I like what I see. You know what I mean?
Yo, that State of Decay looks great.
Yeah,
looks great, man. That co-op base building, survival, resource management. You can actually die in the game if you get affected. Oh man,
awesome.
The game is great from what I've seen.
Real quick, and this shout out to my bro XBL Gaming. Check out this video he did today. It's for all you dumbasses who talking about $30 and how that makes it a good or bad game.
Yeah, people don't know what it ain't a AAA game because it's $29.99. Oh, people don't even know what an indie is, man.
Real quick, and then, you know what's funny? I put a post in Bang Bang that was talking about what do you call Uncharted Lost Legacy and whether or not it was a standalone game. If it was AAA, because all those people who was like, it's $30, it's not AAA. Uncharted Lost Legacy was $30. So
they call it AAA.
I'm just asking the question, bro. I'm just asking. I'm like, maybe I'm tripping because you can't say one thing and then say the other in the same damn sentence. I don't know how that works.
Jamil did something because he was like, it's not a AAA, it's an indie. And then Jamil as well, he said, well, is Witcher 3 a AAA? He's like, yeah, but it's an indie game because it's made by independent developers. Like, do you actually know what indie means? Like, some of these dudes don't even know what they be talking about, man. And you did have them triggered in that post, though.
Von Lamont, you can read that post?
Yeah, how can Sony release VR, Slim, and Pro and still have exclusives coming, but Microsoft can't release new hardware and new games?
Man, hey yo, you know what's crazy? You say that, Von Lamont, right? I had to kill my man Mega with that shit one time, bro. You know what I mean? Because Mega was what the Mega was saying. Mega said some crazy shit, man. Mega was going crazy last year, and he said, Microsoft don't need the money for the marketing. They saving that for exclusives. And he told Garrett XBL Gaming that we don't need no bigger hard drives. Microsoft gonna say that shit for exclusives. Like my man was out there tripping.
I remember that.
Again, like I said, right now, and I'm gonna say this too. Maybe you guys may feel different before we get the hell up out of here. I've always raised the question that how was Sony continuing to out hustle Microsoft now? Like you think about Microsoft and you know this big company and all this trillions of dollars they got and all that shit, right? But I remember they were starting the rumors when Microsoft acquired Nokia that they may spin off the Xbox division, right? And I was pro for that. I was saying that would be a good thing, you know, because I would like to at the time, I don't know what they're worth now, the entertainment division or whatever the Xbox brand fell up under was worth like $25 billion. I mean, I said I would like to see them gamble on themselves, You know what I mean? And maybe just kick back, repping whatever the check they get, you know, every quarter. I would think that would be dope. You know what I mean? But we're gonna see going forward. Now, Phil's supposed to have a head at this table. And I'm just gonna say some of the and I'm gonna say this for the record. I don't have a problem with Phil. You know what I mean? I'm not a Phil Smith hater. But I'm gonna say some of the decisions that were made, whether they came from Terry Myerson or whatever the case may be. But you know how you say the head rocks from the back. Whether it's been marketing, third-party deals, true Xbox, all that shit came under Phil's regime. You know what I mean? These problems. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see going forward. You know what I mean? Now he has a seat at the big table in the big house. He's not in the field no more. So we're gonna see. You know what I mean? Like, what do you guys feel or think about that?
Hold on, pay the bills real quick. Chad Main dropped $2. Said PSVR has been getting more exclusives. LOL.
Yeah, they have been experiences. I mean, bro, I'm not to get you.
Man, that was a $2 comment. I ain't gonna need. That was a $2 ass comment. I ain't mad at you, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Real talk. I got all three. I got all three VR headsets.
Yeah.
And outside of
turn that down, Maya.
Outside of a handful, most of the VR games, quote unquote, is indie Xbox games, like the ones that you find in a little curation store. Most of them are like real talk. So the exclusive, quote unquote, is just the PSVR, Oculus Rift, all these VR games. It's very few that are actual full games. That's just the reality of VR. That's why VR is in a gray space right now.
I'm gonna do what they do though.
Dropping.
VR got all these games. Are they AAA though? Are we dealing with AAA VR games? If they're not AAA, then they don't matter.
Don't do it to a post.
Just like they.
Don't do it to a post.
Yo, my man here raised a good question. My man Ryu Habashu, he said NFL 2K5 was only $20.
Yeah, it was. And you know what they did?
Still better than Madden.
They lowered the price on it, and they grew a huge fan base off lowering that price on a quality game.
Right.
And after that, it's been uphill from there. And Microsoft could have put State of Decay 2 at $60. But they said they wanted to lower the entry point for it to build a huge fan base, because this is going to be a service-based game. Know that.
100%.
Understand that now. It's going to be a service-based game. So they're going to go from there. But they just want to get the fan base.
Because even how they was talking about it, when it was Project CM4 or whatever the hell it was called, when they were first talking about it. They already said it was like one of them games that they wanted to evolve over time. So I feel like this deal that they have is going to set this game on, and then it'll come out with a bunch of co-op focused DLC that you can also play single player, and it'll keep going, and it'll keep going, and keep going.
My man, hold up. Last thing I want to talk about here. Rumor has it that Call of Duty Microsoft may be getting the marketing rights back for Call of Duty. One of the head guys over there called me. Share my screen, you guys can see here. He recently just changed his avatar back to Xbox avatar. Let me screen to make it smaller here.
David Vonderhaar.
Yeah, the next COD DLC may roll out for the Xbox early. Vonderhaar's avatar changes stirring reactions. Very recent, David J. Vonderhaar, the developer of Call of Duty, changed his avatar to an Xbox and has got most of the fans to speculate that does this mean that COD DLCs will be rolling out early for Xbox users? This also means that Treyarch, the developers of the game have struck a new deal with Microsoft regarding the DLCs in the tournament. What are your guys' thoughts? It's just huge.
Listen, don't nobody care nothing about Call of Play. I'm back. Nobody cares about Call of Duty. If you still play Call of Duty, I guarantee you odd shaped, you real funny looking. I'm telling you, straight like that.
Big fella roll up here on some negative shit already.
Already.
You talking about Joe Stone kin folks, man?
He coming disrespectful too.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Off the back.
I'm a grown ass man. I'm not playing no Call of Duty. Call of Duty is right next to Nintendo, bro.
Did you buy this shit?
He said you shape funny.
Hey, Garrett, did you get Call of Duty this shit?
Did you buy Call of Duty?
Which one? Yeah, I played it. Yo, you know what? I bought that Call of Duty for the damn story. That's a first. Yo, bro, I ain't never
for the record, you're not getting the new COD
first. Strictly for the story. Like, whoa.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a huge Call of Duty guy. You know what I mean? Not my thing. But I will admit this: whatever we say about Call of Duty, that is still the number one selling multi-plat.
It's gonna continue to be. Also, if this happens, then Phil. It's just proves my point. He need to stop talking. He needs to stop talking, bro. Stop talking. Remember, he was like, "We don't believe in third-party deals."
Let's pay the bill. Let's pay the bills for me. Shout out to Vaughn for the 2 for $3 meal. You guys really think Sony going to let COD go?
I think Activision don't give a damn. Activision cares who pays them.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all. About $1.
Right. If it's $1, if it's 50 cents in a pack of gum, Activision don't give a damn. Activision care about their bread. If you gonna pay them, it's still gonna be on both systems. Not gonna change anything. So, but I swear to God,
this is not a guarantee that Sony will probably carry the COD brand over again. You know.
Let's check it out, right? If we're looking at this holiday season, right, and we can probably close the show with that. This holiday season, we're rumored to get another Battlefield. I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
Battlefield. You got COD. Sony's going to have Red Dead Redemption. I don't know what else is coming out this holiday season, but for sure we get Red Dead Redemption, 2K, wrestling, like we get every damn year. Battlefield, and I don't know. I don't even know about another Assassin's Creed. But anyway, yes. But
hell has hell has frozen over.
What?
And I say this because I've been hearing this a lot. Everybody is saying that Microsoft doesn't spend any money. But if you come from our era with the OG Xbox and the PS3, Microsoft used to get accused a lot for money had and everything. They put a $sign on the S when they used to type the S in on the forms because of that. And we want to say Microsoft don't spend no money when they used to be accused of money had in everything.
The problem this is the problem. Microsoft spend money. They just spend money on the wrong shit. Lately, last gen, they were spending on everything they could. They were just gobbling stuff up, throwing making it rain on people. This year, gen, Microsoft just spend it on the wrong things. They spend money. They just spend it on stuff that we like. Why? Why did you do that? Like that's literally how we get down. We're like, why would you do that? And then they had to bring everything into a line, so they started shuffling it in the wrong directions. And we still looking at them like, why? Why would you choose that to be the thing you want to push your money on?
The last thing I would have thought to see in this community is the sentence of Microsoft doesn't spend any money. That's
everything comes full circle, bro. Everything comes full circle. Well, but even like you were saying, the reason that Sony is out hustling Microsoft is because Microsoft is a piece, is out hustling Xbox is because Xbox is a piece of Microsoft. Sony and PlayStation, that's pretty much it right at this point in time. Like when they was that junk stock and everything was going down the drain faster and faster and faster, PlayStation became that life raft. And so they went full on into PlayStation. So now Sony's whole backing it's PlayStation. It's just the reality of the situation. They put their full power behind PlayStation, and anything PlayStation does, Sony is going to keep feeding them as fast and as hard as possible because that is what pulled them from the brink. The reality of the situation. Microsoft, Xbox is making money. It ain't the biggest part of Microsoft. That ain't going to change no time soon.
Facts.
By no time soon, I mean ever. So it's just the reality of the situation. That's how come they are out hustling them.
I guess we this is the last week close the show with this. The latest rumor on Twitter is that Microsoft has an eye on Capcom.
Yeah, no.
McClary.
Wait. Can you bring that back, player, for me? Say that again. I want to be sure.
Microsoft has an eye on Capcom.
In order for Microsoft to buy Capcom, it would require a lot, and I do mean a lot of money to some dirty politicians in Japan. 100%. Like they technically satisfy because they put in parameters so that Japanese companies could only buy Japanese countries, quote unquote. But there's parameters. Microsoft has a base in Japan. They have to spend a certain amount into the economy. They have to provide a certain number of jobs. Microsoft meets these qualifications, but
already because they got developers in there.
Right. So they would have to still grease a whole bunch of palms, and that's just not gonna happen. They meet the qualifications as per the tariff orders, the ones that they set up so that Japan stays whole within Japan. But
I mean, they was about to buy Square Enix in '99.
Yeah,
there was a signature away from it.
Right, like I said,
it's a dude said, "Hey, these numbers is off, y'all."
Right. Like I said, they meet the criteria to do it, but the Japanese government as a whole would have to approve the sale. In order to do that, Microsoft would have to pay them holistically.
Yeah, I say they get them. And if they do, the backlash, the Sony. Oh, the crying! What's gonna happen to Street Fighter 5? They gonna take our exclusive away from us. Please don't take ours.
That ain't gonna happen,
they need
bro.
They need to put they need to put Killer Instinct in good hands.
That crying part that
you know what? That's a good thing, King. Yo, that's a good idea, King. Yeah, they could do that, and with the experience they got over there with fighters and things like that, they can do something.
Galaxy did a good job with
they did an amazing job.
Galaxy makes good fighting games. Like Capcom, in all reality, the way they piecemealed out Street Fighter 5 and charged $60 to the front, like buy this because it's Street Fighter, but we ain't gonna put in 2/3 of the content. Like,
facts.
That's just the reality of how they did that, and everybody was like, "Yeah," and then they bought the next one. Then they bought all of the characters. Like they literally did the Killer Instinct model of piecemealing things out, except for they charged full price, and everybody was like, "Cool, we appreciate you, Sony, giving us Street Fighter 5."
Hold on, my man, Bradsdale Dickens. Shout out to you too. I had to put the app back on my phone, but you dropped $5 on the PayPal with Super Chat with the iPhone users. I just seen it later. Just want to say thank you. Bradsdale's Dickens, how much is Capcom on stock? You're 3 times that, and the company's worth. I don't know what.
The reason why they saying it is because I'm looking at this. Capcom visited Microsoft. I don't know if this happened today.
That's for a game. I guarantee it's for a game. Like I said, it would take way too much.
Rising 5. I'm tired of that shit.
It would take way too much.
It's right after the Sega visit, so I'm probably pretty sure it's for a game, but it's interesting.
Like I want a Battlefield.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Oh, listen, before we get the hell up, I want to say a huge shout out to my man Seamus Blackley, the original creator of the original Xbox. So actually, I put the link there. You guys want to watch the story, how the Xbox came to be. This is the guy. This is the true Godfather. You know what I mean? Great, cool cat, man. I had a decent conversation with him today. I'm assuming you guys the link. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what if they get Sega in Capcom?
Damn.
Oh,
Then they like that. Then they being
Man, listen, bro. Listen, that's what's wrong with y'all Xbox now.
I'm just
man.
putting it
All
out
we
there.
hear
I'm
is
not-
what if. Listen, man.
You know, some
I'm not in the
people sit
business of what if, bro. You either doing it or you not, player.
Thanks.
What you gonna do? You notice how me and Mass be chilling playing the cut because you gonna do it or not, big fella. I ain't into the what if.
Go sit your negative ass down somewhere. Man, like trying to all this.
Grandpa Judas.
This nigga come in and take the energy out of everything.
I'm keeping it all the way up with y'all
Hey,
Xbox.
listen. Hey, my man Kid Smooth said you better keep that same energy Friday, fella.
Kid Smooth know what's happening. My
Kid
brothers
Smooth,
be like,
you better
yeah,
What
it's
Kid
the most
Smooth they
greatest-
want to? I know they not
the
challenging
greatest
us. again.
information ever known to Xbox. You're in the move, Sony, bro. If it ain't a game, shut up.
You know?
If it ain't a game dropping today, shut up.
Yo, see, they challenging us again.
My boy,
Kid Smooth them team.
Oh,
He
no.
doing the same
He said
thing.
he-
Like, yo, greatest news ever.
It's a debate.
Yeah, man. He said he wanted to debate me and Garrett. But I said he gonna do 2 against 1. Bro, you bugging.
What?
Pick your poison, yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
He actually said that.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. First he was talking greed. I said, bro, you in Jersey, right? I had to check his temperature right quick. You up in Edison, ain't you? You know what I mean? Like, we're about to do this fuck. We too close. Debate supposed to debate Friday at 8:00, man. So, again, should be
So
some very entertaining.
So he's gonna debate both of y'all.
Mm-hmm. I want to make, you know, what I mean, I just told my man Gary, you know, NBA's coming out.
Yo,
man,
let me
man,
tell you
talk,
something.
man. He-
Y'all sleep.
Right.
I know y'all don't really hit King's blood that much.
That's a bad idea.
Yo, I know he be funny on these podcasts. He give his opinions on things. He be serious, but y'all don't want to see that man in no debate, man. That man gaming knowledge is. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Right. There's a lot of bad things about Gary. He's short, he bald.
But that man gaming knowledge is on point.
You can't talk about that man. You can't talk about that man knowledge.
Yo, my man gaming knowledge on point. I don't know. I ain't gonna even say nothing. No.
That's about to be hilarious.
It's gonna be up.
What Shaq say? Barbecue chicken?
But no, the debate is about Microsoft and the organic and exclusive.
It don't matter what it is. He finna get that work.
Roasted. He gonna get roasted.
Yeah, he gonna get roasted.
Roasted.
Yeah, so
that's what we gonna be in the chat. We be flaming the hell out of his ass.
It's Friday. Listen, it's Friday 8:00. We're gonna be there, be square.
Oh man, I gotta go on Twitter. I gotta be on Twitter more often. I don't know.
I thought I was, but ooh, that's not a good look. Smooth, cool. He alright, dude. But he about to get his ass kicked. And it's not even gonna be funny.
I'm talking real greasy.
I'm saying,
bro.
I'm saying,
right?
Paul Bears. He bringing Paul Bears with him because I ain't carrying nobody body out.
Yeah, Smooth with that smoke though. I don't know, man. But anyway, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed the quick little hangout today, man, like I said,
yeah, we appreciate y'all, man.
Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button, and here's this interview with Seamus Blackley talking about how the original Xbox came to be. Shout out to him again. Had a very interesting conversation with him earlier. You know what I mean? So check it out. If you don't know who he is, get yourself acquainted. Seamus Blackley. He's also bringing back the Duke controller for the Xbox. You know what I mean?
I want that joint.
Yeah, $70.
They got a screen on it. I don't care.
Ain't got it. Somebody wants to buy me a Duke controller. I'm hurting right now, man. Financially, socially, mentally, physically, fucked up right now.
You good? You got little hands, bro. You good?
You don't know about that white and black button up top, bro.
You out here with them girl hands. You don't need no Duke
ring
controller.
finger size 13, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. I got the strength of 10 men. Hey, you go ahead, like I said, hit the like button. And that show will be Friday at 8:00. Look out for that, man. But we on. Y'all hopping on the box. What we doing? Actually, I'm gonna record my audio for you right now, man. So I'll hop on the box. Thank you.
Oh, shout out! We got a bulletin coming for y'all. Let's see y'all know.
Oh, you got the new bulletin be up for next week too.
Yeah.
But again, shout out to everybody. So
we appreciate y'all.
Who's debating? He said he wanted to make me and King at the same time, but I ain't gonna do that.
Smooth and took more L's than the law allowed, man. I don't know why he keep doing this to himself, man.
Yeah,
that man on one, bro. He went and smoked something, had him in Debo pigeon coop.
Yeah,
like I want to debate. I want to debate.
No, yeah. So we gonna make it. Oh, I gotta find out. Hey, before we go, how do I make the chat still show up after the video was done? I see. I was on somebody. I want them 70.
It does that now.
Huh?
It does it now.
It does that now. It's a YouTube feature. They record the chat, so when you rewatch the thing, you can look through the chat.
Have it automatically?
Yeah, it's automatic now.
Yep. Because when I came onto the show via YouTube to watch it, and as soon as I typed something in the chat, the first thing you said that the chats will be saved and re-uploaded when you play the show back.
Yeah, so when you play it back, people will be able to read the chat that way. If you respond into the chat, people will know. Because it'll go alongside.
I don't see that shit. My shit ain't there. Maybe I can't see it because I don't know.
Probably because you're the host. But watch when you click back on the video, the chat should pop back up.
All right. Well, again, thank you guys for rocking out. We'll catch you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday?
Yeah.
Or multiplayer tomorrow.
Multiplayer.
Guys in the morning. So we out here. Bang.